Anyone who uses Twitter is well aware that the comment threads are full of spam, scam, and just a lot of fake accounts. So it seems beyond reasonable for Twitter to claim that the number of essentially the number of said another way, the number of real unique humans that you see making comments on a daily basis on Twitter is above 95%. That is what they're claiming. Does anyone have that experience? Exactly. I mean, really? Listen, like, there's a bridge I'd like to sell you. And also you can buy the Brooklyn Bridge.
All right, guys, so that is Elon Musk mocking the idea that over 95% of users on Twitter are real, which is what Twitter is claiming in their SEC filings. And Elon Musk has put his acquisition of Twitter on hold because he doesn't believe that. Basically, what he's saying is that Twitter is a fraudulent company. They're trying to say that they have more real users than they actually have, which has a significant impact on the valuation of the company. And the reason why is because if your platform is actually full of bots, you can't make money off of bots, right? Advertisers aren't going to pay ads for bots to see. Bots don't buy products, okay? So if your platform is full of bots, then that's less advertising revenue. That means that these advertisers aren't getting return on investment. Also, on top of that, Elon Musk wants to rely less on advertisers, right? He wants to rely on real users for revenue, right? In regards to, making some people pay, selling certain types of products and services that come along with Twitter to get extra out of the platform. That requires real users, okay? And again, if a lot of your users on the platform aren't actually real people, you can't monetize it, okay? Which, again, means that Twitter is probably severely overvalued, okay? And Elon Musk is realizing that. And it looks like he's probably more likely to be right than he is wrong. As an audit has found, half of Joe Biden's Twitter followers are fake. Wow. Half of the president's followers, guys, are fake, okay? And honestly, I'm not surprised by this because allegedly this guy is supposed to be the most popular president ever, right? But I never saw the appeal of the guy to believe that he is truly, in fact, the most popular president ever, okay? That was just a narrative that was being pushed by the mainstream liberal media. And again, it seems like Joe Biden doesn't really have as much support as people are saying that he has, at the very least on Twitter. That's what it shows. So that being said, again, that brings up a lot of interesting questions about Joe Biden's actual support. But this is probably going to be the second time that Elon Musk has been proven right about Twitter, because he also said that Twitter has a strong left-wing bias, and that has been proven to be correct as well too, because there was a video released by Project Veritas of an interview with a Twitter employee who basically said that Twitter was commie as F. Okay, that's what he said. Okay, he talked about how it has a very, very, very liberal bias at that company, and how the employees there are freaking out about the prospect of Elon Musk buying the company, coming in and actually making them work hard. Okay, he talked about how some of these people were working 4-hour work weeks, taking months off at a time, right, and coming back and doing their jobs like, nothing happened. Okay, so yeah, at this point, it just seems like Twitter is a left-wing propaganda platform, and I think the fake Twitter followers on a lot of these large liberal accounts, okay, whether that be liberal politicians or liberal news outlets like the New York Times, who has like millions and millions of followers but gets like no engagement, I think that's also a part of the propaganda as well too, making them appear to be more relevant than they actually are. Okay, now in summary, in regards to what this audit found, which was done by SparkToro, they found that 49.3% of the president's followers are fake. Okay, and then they also found that 70.2% of Elon Musk's 93.3 million followers are fake. Okay, and SparkToro has defined fake followers as, quote, accounts that are unreachable and will not see the account's tweets either because they're spam, bots, propaganda, etc., or because they're no longer active on Twitter. Okay, so again, over half of the president's 22 million some followers on Twitter are fake. Okay, over 70% of Elon Musk's 93.3 million followers are fake, according to SparkToro. If this is in fact true, that means that probably over half of the accounts on Twitter are fake. And if over half of the accounts on Twitter are fake, then that has some serious implications about the valuation of this company. Okay, this company might not be worth nearly as much as it is, or what Elon Musk is trying to purchase the company for. Okay, and here's the thing, guys. I think that Elon Musk is getting a whole lot of this stuff right because he has inside information from Jack Dorsey on all this stuff. Jack Dorsey, it appears as the time moves on and more information comes out that he was not on board with the wokeification of Twitter. He wasn't on board with it, but it seems like he was just forced to do that, right? So he's probably been telling Elon, like, look, this company is worthless. Like, that half of the accounts are fake. There's a strong left-leaning bias. We definitely censor people based off political opinions. And Elon Musk has basically came out there and said all this stuff. And he's been right almost every single time, right? And I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that he knows this because Jack Dorsey has told him this stuff, right? So that being said, I don't think that this Elon Musk deal is going to go through as it stands right now, considering the things that we're finding out. There's no way this man is going to pay $44 billion for a company that seems to be built off fraud, okay? So with that being said, we have some more breaking kind of video coming out of Twitter executives basically admitting things that we already knew, okay? As one Twitter executive was caught on camera by Project Veritas mocking Elon Musk's free speech commitment and making jokes about Elon Musk's Aspergers, okay? Which is a condition that he has, and that's why he kind of talks the way he does. And I think it's really effed up what this Twitter employee says about Elon Musk. But let's read about it because, again, Project Veritas is really exposing a lot of this stuff. He's confirming the things that Elon Musk has been saying, things that we already know. On Tuesday night, Project Veritas released part 2 of their bombshell Twitter Exposed. This time, they got lead client partner Alex Martinez on camera saying that Twitter as a company cares more about ideology than making money. But simultaneously, the employee expresses the thought that Twitter rules are what keeps advertisers happy. Quote, what's clear is that Twitter's ideology-driven staffers believe free speech takes second place to some greater cause, such as for the planet. Martinez says this set of the company will rebel against Elon Musk's plans. Well, they might rebel, but they're going to get fired. Right? They're going to get fired because obviously, again, this company ain't making any money. And we need to trim some of the fat, right? We got to trim some of the fat, and they will probably be trimmed if they backlash like this guy is claiming. Alex Martinez's role with Twitter has him dealing with relations with advertisers on the platform. In the conversation with the undercover Veritas agent, Martinez made a correlation between the moderation side of things, controlling information, and making money. Quote, advertisers are freaking out because of what he's like tweeting about, like being, I want free speech, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, like who really knows what that even means? He tells the Veritas plant. Well, we know what it means according to the left. Free speech, according to the left, means the left's ability to censor speech that they don't like, right? That's what they define as free speech, okay? Now, again, this whole advertiser thing is pretty interesting that he's talking about here because he's saying that, you know, advertisers like the moderation, which they do, okay? Because they don't want their brands to be associated with, you know, certain things that, again, it seems to correspond with the liberal media. But at the same time, again, are they really getting their return on investment on Twitter, right? How many of you guys have actually bought something based off an ad that you've seen on Twitter, right? To me, it seems like anybody advertising on Twitter is simply advertising just to get brand awareness, right? It is just a general reach campaign, get people to just see the ad and just have the company in their head or whatever for a split second. They're not actually trying to get people to buy anything, okay? I don't think I've ever clicked on any Twitter ad and bought anything. I typically just ignore them, right? So again, I got to question these advertisers. Are you really getting your return on investment, right? I don't think so, which again, I think is part of the reason why Elon Musk wants to move away from that. He wants to rely on other sources of revenue because at the end of the day, I mean, look, half the platform is probably filled with bots. right? So again, advertisers, right? Are you really getting your return on investment? I'm just saying. Let's actually watch this, because during this expose, he's gonna mock Elon Musk for having Aspergers, which is gonna be kind of screwed up. But let's actually watch it real quick so that you guys kind of get an idea how this interview went.
Is correct. If we're implementing all these rules that and Elon wants to dismantle them, then technically our ideology has led us to not making money because we're not making money. And Elon wants to turn it the other way so that we can make money. There's a statement they need all 7,000 people to say. And so they can't tell us that the real truth. He has Aspergers.
Yeah, I know that.
So he's special. You're special needs. You're literally special needs. So I can't even take what you're saying seriously. Targeting of types.
Wait.
You can read it.
Let me see. How to protect yourself. Groups like Project Veritas are active right now. Is that?
It's like some group that's trying to just out the employees. Like they're trying to go on dates with them like this and record them and then go sell it to the New York Times and say this is what the Twitter employee just said. This is what's really happening. This is what they're telling us to not do. You're lucky that you met me organically, because I would be questioning everything about you.
Wow. How embarrassing. How embarrassing. First and foremost, I want to say this. Him mocking Elon Musk and his Asperger's is messed up. And I think the woke revolutionaries call that being ableist, right? Ain't that's what they call that, right? Being ableist. That's one of the words they use for people that like to discriminate against disabled people. But I don't necessarily even define Elon Musk as disabled, because everybody I know with Asperger's, they're basically geniuses, right? They're smarter than me, right? And Elon Musk is definitely a genius, and he's one of the smartest people on the planet. So I'm not necessarily sure if I would be mocking him for having a condition that has allowed him to do the things that he's done, right? He's truly changed the world, okay? But again, this guy's mocking him. He was also mocking free speech. And the funniest part about this is that he was warned about not going on these dates, right? And doing these interviews and talking about this stuff with, strangers, right? By Twitter. And then he went out and did it anyways. Okay, what an idiot, right? What an idiot, and got caught on camera doing it. So Elon Musk has responded to this with a sad face, right? Because again, his condition is being mocked here. Now, this article goes on here to detail more of this interview in regards to what this guy is saying about how the platform is anti-free speech. I mean, we all know, guys, that Twitter is anti-free speech, that the woke employees don't want opinions that they don't like on the platform. We already know that, okay? So we don't really need to get into that. But there's an interesting piece of news that I do want to get into real quick that suggests that Twitter knows that it is in fact a fraudulent company, okay? And because they know it's a fraudulent company, they're actually now trying to force this deal on Elon Musk, okay? Who Elon has came out and said, hey, you know what? I'm not necessarily sure if I want to purchase this because, again, this company is fraudulent. It's full of spam bots. It is a left-wing propaganda platform. I'm not necessarily sure it's as valuable as we thought it was based off the SEC filings. And how you know that's true now is what Twitter is doing now, which is coming out and saying, no, we're going to enforce this merger. Now, remember, this is the same company that refused to sell to Elon Musk at first. It was like, no, we're not going to sell to you. But as soon as Elon revealed some of, again, the fraudulent activity that is going on at Twitter, now all of a sudden Twitter's like, you have to buy our trash platform, because if you don't, the stock is going to tank and we're probably all going to get sued into oblivion, right? That is what's happening here, guys. Twitter's board said Tuesday that it plans to, quote, close the transaction and enforce the merger agreement between Elon Musk and Twitter, the New York Times reports. Quote, the board and Mr. Musk agreed to a transaction at $54.20 per share. Twitter's board said in a statement to the New York Times, quote, we believe this agreement is in the best interest of all shareholders. We intend to close the transaction and enforce the merger agreement. This followed an earlier statement from Twitter that said it was, quote, committed to completing the transaction on the agreed price and terms as promptly as practical. Twitter's board urged shareholders in a regulatory filing Tuesday to vote in favor of the deal. Musk said last week that the $44 billion deal with Twitter was temporarily on hold until CEO Parag Agrawal publicly proves that less than 5% of users are bots or spam accounts. Quote, my offer was based on the Twitter's SEC filing being accurate, Musk said in a tweet. Yesterday, Twitter CEO publicly refused to show proof of less than 5%. This deal cannot move forward until he does. Yes, but Musk currently has a contractual obligation to buy Twitter at the agreed price. Axios Felix Salmon writes. Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Again, if he entered that contract based off false information, right? Information that Twitter gave to the SEC, then I think that's probably an out for him, right? Why should he have to go through with an agreement based off a false premise? It doesn't make sense, right? Again, that is fraud, okay? So until Twitter can prove that less than 5% of the accounts on their platform are bots and spam, which I don't think they can, I don't see why this man should be forced to buy this trash platform. Because again, Twitter knows that their platform is trash. That's why they're now trying to force the deal on Elon Musk, because they know that if he doesn't go through with this deal, that stock is going to tank, right? And they're probably going to be sued into oblivion, okay? That's probably what's going to happen, right? So with that being said, we will see what happens here. The more that comes out about Twitter, man, the worse it seems to get for that company. But also it stresses the need for somebody like Elon Musk to come in and to right the ship, because we do need a platform like Twitter for the sake of free speech. However, there's a whole lot of work to be done. I mean, the company's not even trying to be profitable, okay? A company that's not trying to be profitable, why in the world should investors invest in a company like that? Nobody's going to want to invest in that, okay? Which, again, to me, seems to indicate fraud, right? Because the company is supposed to try to make money for their shareholders, and that's not what they're doing. The employees has openly admitted that. There's a lot of stuff going on in that company that needs to be revealed to the light, and it needs to be cleaned up, right? So I hope that Elon Musk ultimately buys the company, but I don't wish it on him at $54.20 a share. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.